Do you love a good to-do list? Same here. Do you suffer though from TMTL? Hi, my name is Tammy Bartles and welcome to my channel Pursuit Over Perfection, where I help women organize chaos one routine at a time. All right, so I know the burning question is I asked, do you suffer from TMTL? Do you know what that is? I've made it up. I made it up myself. That's right. TMTL is what I call too many to-do lists, and I still suffer from it, even though I've been working on it for years. Are you one of those people where you finish something that isn't on a to-do list and you go ahead and write it down so that you can cross it off? But then you probably have like 17 other things that are a little bit more time consuming and you seem to never get to where you're crossing those off because you just keep pushing them off and pushing them off because you haven't set up any priorities or set them up to actually have a plan on how to actually accomplish them. Today we're going to talk a little bit about goals. I know. Don't press stop yet, because some of you hear the word goals and you're just like, I don't have any goals and I don't want to talk about goals and this doesn't apply to me because I don't run a business, and so you're just gonna press stop. But this isn't the case. I promise. You can have goals even when you don't run a business. You need to have goals for your family. You need to have goals for your home. And I am here to help you figure out how we can do that so that we can be productive and not just busy crossing off to-do lists. So many times we are just running through daily life basically on a hamster wheel. We're just going through the motions every day, in and out, doing the same thing. And it's just kind of like you're not really moving that needle. Now, when I say moving that needle is meaning towards anything of like a goal. And like I've already said, please don't stop just because I'm talking about goals. This is a little bit different than probably many of the videos you've ever watched about goals. I have always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and so yes, I do have business goals. And when I was working in corporate life, it was easy to have goals because it was something that you worked for your team or towards that project that you're working on. And I won't lie, when I became the stay-at-home mom, I was just kind of like, I don't have goals. What am I supposed to do? I'm just running a household and helping my kids stay alive. But that's not the case. You do have goals. You want to run a good household. You want to maybe be financially free. Maybe you want to plan that vacation. Maybe you want to do Shutterfly books for your family. Maybe you want to redo your bathroom. All of those things are things that you're going to have to make a plan for and that are goals that you can work towards. So many people just throw out a goal that they want to do, like, I'd love to be a millionaire. That's not a goal, guys. That's not a goal. That's a dream. But unless you have an action plan and you actually take steps towards that goal, it's just a dream. I want to help you make those dreams into reality. Goals don't have to be big and scary. We don't have to go out and run a marathon. And some of you may have that as a goal, but you're never going to be able to just do that tomorrow. You're going to have to build up baby steps to it. You're going to have to run that mile first. Then you're going to have to run 3 miles. Then you're going to have to run 5 miles. And eventually you may get there and you can work up to it. But unless you set out a plan, the likelihood of you being able to run a marathon is not very good. I have been working through the 12-week year with Brian Moran. I have done the 12-week year with a number of goals for the past couple of months, and I have found it to be extremely successful. So many times people create these New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year, and it's something that, oh, I have all year to accomplish this. I have all year to lose 10 pounds, or I have all year to write this devotional. But then November comes and you're like, oh, I'm trying to lose 10 pounds and now it's Thanksgiving and then there's Christmas and all of these treats and everything, and it's likely not going to happen. Also, if you don't make steps to get that bathroom redone or save up for that vacation, then you're not going to make it happen. So you have to set the plans in place so that you can reach the goal and move that needle. My tips for having a goal and reaching those goals and being productive are probably a little bit different. They're very simple. I like to keep things simple in my life, but it doesn't mean they're easy. It takes consistency and actually using these tools and tips in order for them to be beneficial. First and foremost, you need a planner. I'm a paper girl. Digital, if you've watched some of my previous videos, I am a very organized person and I can have a lot of systems in place, but if I need any help in the systems area, it's when it comes to my digital life. I used to be extremely embarrassed embarrassed about what my email inbox looked like. I have gotten much better, and I'm trying to take those small steps to keep up with it. I still am slightly embarrassed by the folders that I have all over my desktop on my computer, but baby steps is being made. And so am I going to give you tips on digital? No, that's not my forte. But you can make a plan having a paper planner, and the biggest thing is that if you are a digital person, do it through digital. That's fine. You have to do what works for you, but paper and something in front of me is what I need. I get too distracted. If I go to my phone to look for something that's on an app that is my to-do list, I'm gonna get distracted by a different app, or look at the notifications that I have on my phone, or open up my email that is a disaster zone, and never get to the actual to-do items. I wanna hear in the comments, are you a digital or a paper planner? I'd love to see which is more prevalent in this crowd. In regards to the planning though, whether you do it digitally or physically on paper, my biggest tip is to keep all of your plans and ideas in one spot. If you have Post-its and different notebooks and your phone is holding some of the to-dos and all of this, if you have to look in multiple areas, you're not going to be able to as easily keep track of everything and move that needle as you may want to. I am very big into time blocking. I like to see that we all have 24 hours in a day. You get to choose what you're filling that time with. Now, obviously, it would be best if you have 8 hours of sleep. I honestly probably couldn't tell you the last time I've gotten 8 hours of sleep, but that's not the point. The point is that we're all going to be sleeping some. We're all going to have time that's being taken up by eating, and we're all going to have time taken up by spending time with our family and making sure that you're intentional with time with your kids. You can do that and still have time to move that needle and be able to get the laundry done, keep up with the house, and it's all about balancing and finding things that are going to work for you and your family. I know I say that all the time. It's probably that I sound like a broken record, but it is. Things are not going to be the same for my family as they are for yours. And that's okay. My goal is to help others find ways that are going to be beneficial and find the most time to bring you that peace in your life for your family. Okay, so I have already talked about how I am not the greatest at being digitally organized, but one of the things that I used to love to do before kids and shortly after my first two were born is create Shutterfly books. And I love that it's just a easy way to print out pictures and have them in this nice concise book. I can get them all in the same size, and it was just nice and cohesive on my shelf. I've gotten really behind in keeping up with those, and I miss having them so that my kids can look through some of these old memories. Earlier this summer, we took an amazing summer vacation, and it was something that my kids still are talking about and still wish we could go back on, and it's likely something we may look into doing again, but I want to get that created. I want to be more intentional with my time, and if I'm not setting those goals to create those Shutterfly books by a certain time, then I'm never gonna do it. I keep putting it off because I'm like, oh, I need to do these other things first. But are any of those things really helping me move the needle? And will I eventually always get the laundry done? Will I always get the dishes done? Yes, but we fill the time that we have allotted. So if I have 30 minutes to empty the dishwasher, I'm gonna take 30 minutes to empty the dishwasher. If I have 5 minutes to empty the dishwasher, guess what? I'm probably gonna knock it out in 5 minutes because that's all the time that I have. If I can allot time to do these Shutterfly books, I'm going to get them done. I can say all that I want to create these Shutterfly books. That's a goal. But unless I take action to actually take steps towards doing them, they're never gonna get done. So I have to make that plan. The next part of being productive is really creating some routines. Now, I went just from creating those Shutterfly books to setting up some routines. There is a correlation, I promise. The thing is if you can set up routines and it becomes almost a second nature for you to meal plan on a certain day, do laundry on a certain day, emptying the dishwasher a certain time of the day, then all of these things become so much easier, and they're not necessarily to-dos on your list, but they are just your daily routines or your weekly routines. And that makes life a little simpler because you're not having to think about all of the things on your to-do list. Now what's on your to-do list and on your project list, your goals, is to get that Shutterfly book done. So when you have some free time, what's going to be on your list? Shutterfly book. So then I'm going to be working on that Shutterfly book. I've talked about the importance of routines in your life, and you can check out that video here because it's definitely about a laundry routine, a cleaning routine, meal planning routine, even your morning routine and a workout routine. There's so many things that you can set into place that are going to, over time, become consistent enough that that's not something you have to spend your time and energy thinking about having to do, and therefore you can spend it more on moving that needle, getting closer to your goals, being productive throughout your day. Now, in addition to this routine setup that I'm talking about, the last tip that I have in being productive is a list of 3. Now, I call it a list of 3, but really it can be a list of 3 to 5. I truly don't think that you should have more than 5 things on your to-do list for that specific day. Now, this requires you to use your planner and take a look at your day and see what is it that you have going on, what can I accomplish, and when are the time slots that I'm going to be able to do those things. So for me, I make a list of 4. I rotate through this. Some days I have 3 things business related and 1 family. Sometimes I have 2 business and 2 home. It just kind of depends on what's going on and what I have going on during that day. I know that Fridays are kind of like a family day, so I don't plan a lot of business stuff. And the things that I do, it's stuff that I do first thing in the morning, and if I don't have a time slot in the morning, then it probably won't get done. I know that Mondays I feel most productive, so I'm gonna probably heavy load that with business things, but the thing is that I'm heavy loading 3 to 5 things. Motivation is fleeting. We may make a list on Sunday night of 17 things to do that we want to accomplish on Monday, but guess what? A Monday morning comes, something derails us first thing in the morning, that motivation is gone. And are you going to accomplish 17 things on that day then? Highly unlikely. But if there's only 3 to maybe 5 things on that list, it seems so much more attainable, and you're going to feel this huge sense of accomplishment once you've actually finished those 3 things. I love the way that we can actually be so much more productive and actually accomplish, say, 15 to 20 things on your list by the end of the week if you just have 3 to 5 things on your list starting on Monday. And then you add something different each day. Some people may work well as having that huge long list, but I like to have a focus so that I'm not distracted. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, how many times do you have a list of 20 plus things and then you do something that's not on that list and yet you go and write it on the list just to cross it off? It's most likely because some of the things on the list are actually going to take more effort and you're just putting it off because you're trying to find the easier things to do. So if you balance your 3 to 5 list, having some easy things and some more difficult things, my tip is to do the more difficult thing first, then you're going to more easily be able to accomplish those 3 to 5 things each day. I truly think that 3 or 4 is probably best, but I know some of you are going to think, I can't just do 3 or 4 things. I think if you give it a try, you'll see that it's much more rewarding finding yourself accomplishing those 3 or 4 things. And then if you have extra motivation that day, then do an extra thing on your list or pull something up from Friday and do it on Monday. And then you'll have time on Friday to pull something from that to-do list that has already been building for the next week. Now, I won't lie. I have a huge brain dump list that is pretty much ongoing, but I pull from those every week and decide the things that are actually needed to be done for that week, as well as things that will help me move forward in my projects. So you pull from that and put a daily to-do list, a daily top 3 to 5 things that you want to accomplish. And then don't pay attention to that brain dump list. Don't pick and choose. Choose the things that are for that day. So again, my tips for productivity: have a planner, have it all in one spot. Create some routines that are going to decrease that decision fatigue and help you to have some more consistency. And 3, come up with a list of 3 so that every day you're accomplishing 3 things, one of which is probably going to be moving you towards that needle of reaching your goal, whether that's creating Shutterfly books for your family, saving for that vacation, decluttering a closet so that you can live a more simplified life. These are goals that you get to decide on. These are goals that don't have to be big and scary, but can be something to make your life a little easier. All right, I want to hear in the comments, what is a goal that you have for your family or for yourself, or maybe for a business that you're starting? I want to help you to be more productive and not just busy going through the motions every day of your life. I would love so much for you to like and subscribe to this channel, share this with a friend, and just remember to keep living a life of pursuit over perfection, and I hope you have a blessed day. my hand. Whip it out. Oh my gosh.